Hello there and happy holidays, everyone. I hope you're enjoying time with your families right now, but for those of you still trawling through YouTube for their Star Wars fix, I wanted to put out a fun video doing what's obviously necessary to fit into the holiday spirit. Classifying each of the live-action Star Wars movies as an alcoholic drink, and yes, that does include the holiday special. This is a mix of my own opinions and trying to compare general fan perceptions, but obviously this is the most serious thing in the world, and anyone who doesn't agree with my conclusions is stupid. First up, we have Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. This is a movie you don't necessarily introduce people to on their first time, and telling people it's your favorite will get some raised eyebrows, but whatever, it's still Star Wars, and it came in at a time when people hadn't had a Star Wars movie in a while. So this is basically the moonshine of Star Wars. Next up we have Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, still on the lower, cheaper end, but again, still alcohol. Star Wars. You get some cool fight scenes out of it, but it's debatable whether any of those fights should have happened in the first place, so I went with vodka for this one. For Episode 3, it's something with a lot of flavor, but it's not for everyone. Some people love the high sugar content here, but others don't, and it gets talked down a lot in conversation, but I think secretly we all probably like it a little bit more than we'd like to admit, even if it's made us sick once or twice. Revenge of the Sith is Fireball. So next we have the two Star Wars stories. These are a bit more obscure than the Skywalker saga movies, so I tried to pick stuff that's also a bit more niche and obscure. So for Solo, it's probably the most niche, but even people who like it probably wonder why it needed to exist in the first place sometimes. My choice for this is McGinnis Banana Liqueur. I like it, but I get a lot of weird looks when I say that. Rogue One is a bit more of a personal choice for me. I didn't expect much going in and thought I'd actually dislike it, but it's turned out to be my favorite. My Rogue One experience is basically exactly how I feel about pineapple Smirnoff Ice. Episode 4, A New Hope, is probably what people first get into. If you're just getting together with some friends to watch a Star Wars movie, A New Hope is the obvious first choice. Even if it's not people's favorite overall, it's solid on pretty much every occasion. A New Hope is the beer or wine of Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back is a bit less accessible, but once people get into it, it's usually going to be the drink of choice for a lot of people. Not the same versatility as A New Hope, but you're usually not going to get too many complaints, so I'm calling this Rum and Coke. Obviously, choosing something to represent what is usually the fan favorite is going to be a bit difficult, so if you want to just substitute your own personal favorite drink in there, then do that instead. For Episode 6, you're still dealing with a classic, but with stuff like the Ewoks getting added, you're getting into some weirder elements that not everyone's totally on board with. For this, I've gone with Whiskey Sours. Now, Episode 7, as we get into the sequels, you're basically getting a different take on Episode 4. There's a lot of the same qualities, but some people will dismiss it as not the real thing, even if some other people would prefer it to the regular one. So with this, I think light beer is the right choice. With Episode 8, you get a lot of people who say it's the absolute worst, but you also get a lot of people who say it's the absolute best, and there's not much room in between. Maybe this is just my own experience, but if you've tried to talk to anyone about whether gin is any good, it's basically the same reaction. For the final movie in the Skywalker saga, Rise of Skywalker, I'm still kind of parsing how I feel about the movie, but even that contributes to what I'm going to call it here. I was left with the distinct impression that I had a lot of fun with certain moments, but then also the impression that I had missed another half a movie's worth of crucial information. Whenever I see people talking about going to see it again in theaters because they're starting to warm back up to it, there's always a couple comments about whether or not they remember what happened last time. But if you want to get effed up on some highly distilled Star Wars, it's probably going to get the job done. This movie is pretty much Star Wars tequila. Finally, we have the holiday special. There is a drink called a smoker's cough, which is basically a shot of Jägermeister with some warm mayonnaise in it. I'm not sure why it exists. I'm not sure who it exists for, but yeah, there's mayonnaise in it. So that's it. Again, just meant as a bit of holiday fun. The super serious lore videos will be back soon, but until then, hope you're enjoying the holidays. If you want to leave a like, subscribe, or comment, I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you next time.